of days, I know someone who's sitting in the audience checked me out on LinkedIn. So recognize their face right standing out in the hallway, and just through LinkedIn. Is everybody familiar with LinkedIn? So it's a very valuable tool for networking within the industry and being able to check out back references and who's connected to who, and it's sort of like the 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon, only it's probably only 2 degrees in this industry in the Twin Cities. The second one was last night we had a Society of Cosmetic Chemists Midwest chapter meeting, and someone here came up to me and introduced themselves and said, hey, I'm just sort of new, and came up to 3 of us that were sitting around having a beer, and she was talking to somebody, all 3 of us combined had 120 years of chemical experience in the industry. So networking, and you never know who you're going to talk to, who knows somebody, and make sure that your first impression is professional. This person gave me a business card. The only thing I would recommend is that when you talk to somebody like that, ask for a business card back. So if you give somebody a business card, or you have a business card made up, and you meet them at a IFT meeting or Society of Cosmetic Chemists.
I once was speaking at a conference, and someone flew from Canada, attended the conference, and then networked with me after my talk. And it was a little creepy at first. So the only thing that I would have, that person did an awesome job networking, by the way. But the only thing that they could have done is they should have just sent me an email saying, hey, I'm coming down to the conference. I'm really interested in, meeting you, and I want to talk to you specifically about some research that I've been doing that's in your area of expertise. I was so floored by their research that I bought them a beer, and we hung out and had dinner, and we went through the different stuff. That's the most extreme case of networking, where someone bought a plane ticket and a conference registration, and they didn't need to go through that expense, they had me at hello. So, but that asking for people, so when you're talking to that neighbor who works in industry and they have a job and a career, come on, ask them. Do you know anybody that has this particular experience or started in this particular area? And then when you find the name of that person, when you get them on the phone, ask them those specific questions, be a little forward. And if they sound like someone that you might want to pick their brain a little bit more on, say, well, do you drink coffee? Would you mind if I came and just had coffee with you for half an hour? I'd like to ask some more detailed questions. And drive to wherever you need to drive to and meet them for coffee. And if they're a lunch person, treat them to lunch. Don't pay, don't have to worry about that, but make the offer, because you gotta find where people are accessible, and you gotta meld your networking style to fit their accessibility. And their accessibility, at least mine, is not picking up the phone. When I'm in my office, I'm on the phone on a telecom, or I'm doing email, I'm not picking up the phone. I'm not returning phone calls because it's hard to write a person's number down and call them back. So you gotta kind of figure out your style of getting introduced, following up the introduction, and then create that opportunity for a 15-minute, 30-minute, more detailed networking. And ask them the question at the end. Do you know anybody else in this area? Do you know any good technical sessions that are coming up that might be a good networking forum for me? Ask those questions, and people will be more than happy to share those insights with you.
As soon as you get to know people, it becomes a lot easier to find a good quality job. Plus you can find out, would you want to work for this company? And somebody might go, and somebody will say, yeah, if you can get in there, if you can get into Cargill, privately held company, everybody wants to get into Cargill. How do I get into Cargill? I have to update my resume and hand it over here. But so use your experience, use your friendliness, personality. Don't be afraid to approach people. I think a problem within the technical field is so many people say we're introverted, we're not able to strike up a conversation and go, last night, perfect example, 3 guys sitting around having a beer, one guy 72, one guy 55, and then myself, I'm playing my age. And came right up and shook hands, introduced herself, and started talking, and found out exactly what she was there for, just to introduce herself, learning, even though it was a 5-minute conversation, now she has 3 brand new leads where if she name dropped and said, I met you at the SEC meeting and we talked about dentistry and this is what I'm interested in, boom, it would be like, come right back to us. So.